Are you looking for the best mouse traps? In this video, we will look at some of the 7 best mouse traps on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Victor Electronic Mouse Trap. We tested the Victor Electronic Mouse Trap at one of our homes and found it to be one of the easiest traps to set compared with spring-loaded traps we've used in the past. No fears of accidentally snapping our fingers in a tension bar, as can easily happen with snap traps. It was also quite effective and hides the deceased mouse from view, which is why it's our favorite option. We found that placing this trap against a wall in an area where you've noted rodent activity yields the best results. Because the trigger plate and bait cup are entirely enclosed within the trap chamber, your pets or kids won't be able to touch them, making this a much safer option than snap traps if you have curious little ones in your home. Setting the trap is a breeze. Just open the chamber and fill the bait cup. We used a tiny bit of peanut butter, close the chamber and hit the on switch. Note that you will need to supply 4 AA batteries to power the trap. When a mouse enters the chamber searching for a treat and steps on the trigger plate, it will be killed nearly instantly by a lethal electric shock. Making this a nearly error-proof method of dealing with rodents, the manufacturer claims the product kills 100% of unwelcome visitors and does not require bait or poisons. We appreciate that a built-in safety switch deactivates the trap when it is open. However, one of our biggest pluses about this electronic trap is that we didn't have to see the trapped mouse. Instead, a blinking green light begins to flash after a mouse is trapped. We do think the light should blink faster though, as its slow blink could be overlooked. We then easily removed the inner chamber and dumped the dead rodent into a trash can without ever actually having to look at it. This trap is reusable, and after a quick and easy wipe down, we were able to put it back into action to catch more mice. Note that this trap is only for indoor use and is not intended for trapping rats or large rodents. Number 2. Victor Easy Set Mouse Trap. If you want to spend little money on traps, or just prefer old-fashioned wire snap traps, the Victor Easy Set Mouse Traps are the way to go. While you'll have to view the dispatched rodent caught in this trap, the time-tested design does the job effectively and humanely, if properly set. Carpenter notes that wire snap traps are often known for their affordability, but more importantly, she says, the spring-loaded metal band snaps shut when triggered, instantly killing the rodent and allowing for safe disposal of both the trap and the deceased animal. The low price makes this basically a disposable trap, although you can clean it for reuse if desired. One unusual feature of this trap that we especially like is that it's pre-baited. The trigger pedal has a cheese scent that will attract foraging mice. However, you can add a small smear of peanut butter if you want to make certain you catch the rodent. Either way, you will need to take extra care when setting this trap, as otherwise, you might get a highly painful snap on your own finger. When setting these traps, make sure they are placed in areas where rodents are present but out of the reach of children and dogs. Underneath a sink, behind appliances, or inside cupboards are all good options, as are basements and attics. The trap should be positioned with the bait end against the wall for best effectiveness. Number 3. Tomcat Press End Set Mouse Trap. The Tomcat Press End Set is our favorite snap trap because it has all the power and effectiveness without any chance of injuring yourself. We love the one-touch setup. You press the set bar until you hear a click, and you never need to get your fingers anywhere near the jaws. This trap is also easy to bait, with a convenient flip-up panel that exposes the pressure plate while the trap is still unarmed. You can use Tomcat's attractant gel, but the traps work well with peanut butter, too. Once the trap is armed, the pressure plate is exposed, so it's important to keep these away from pets and children. While the jaws of this trap are larger than the wires of a basic snap trap, it isn't enclosed at all, so the mouse is clearly visible. The traps are designed to be disposable, with a tab that's easy to grab, so you never need to touch the dead animal, but you will need to see it. While the package says disposable, Tomcat does provide instructions for cleaning and reusing them. They aren't terribly easy to clean, and can get messy thanks to the sharp, powerful jaws. But it is an option if you aren't squeamish about that sort of thing. Number 4. Cat Sense Mouse Bait Station. If you prefer to use poison bait to eradicate a mouse infestation or to proactively prevent one from developing, this can especially be useful if you want to use the traps outdoors. Then you need a safe way to set out the bait without risking that pets, other wildlife, or children can access it. This set of 4 bait stations from Cat Sense makes the task simple. You will need to purchase the poison bait separately, as it is not included with the stations. Once filled with bait, these stations are discreet and small enough to tuck around your home, business, garage, or yard without attracting attention other than from rodents who smell the bait inside. The plastic bait stations have openings sized to fit mice, however. Rats cannot squeeze through, so pets can't easily reach inside. An included key lets you open the box, load it, and then lock it for added protection against mishaps. There's a thin bar inside that holds the bait in place. Most poison baits have holes for this purpose, so be sure to select one with this design feature so it won't drop out even if the bait station is picked up or shaken. The plastic construction and station design helps protect the bait against moisture and weather. Note that the rodent baits available to non-professionals don't kill the rodents right away. It can take several days for the mouse to succumb. Be aware that this means the mouse may be inside your house when it dies if you are using the bait stations indoors. Number 5. OWLTRA Tunnel Snap Mousetrap. Discovering that mice have invaded your kitchen is not only distressing, it's also harmful to your health. Point 1. The solution is this enclosed snap trap from OWLTRA. The trap has a clear outer tunnel, which is hard for rodents to resist, leading to the inner snap trap, which is made of plastic and snaps shut with great force, cleanly and humanely killing the mouse immediately. It's easy to set the trap, as well. Just open the tunnel, use a swab to spread a little peanut butter or similar attractant onto the trigger pedal, press the back pedal all the way down until the trap catches, and lower the tunnel over the trap. Then set it into an area where you've seen signs of rodent activity. Often this will be droppings, but that isn't easily within reach of pets or children, although the tunnel design does make this trap safer than those with exposed triggers. Once a mouse has been dispatched, you can easily dispose of it without contact by pressing the release trigger to let the mouse drop into a trash receptacle. However, you'll still be able to see the critter, so this isn't entirely suited to the most squeamish user. The trap is easy to clean for reuse. You can also use these traps outdoors or in the garage. Number 6. IWI Humane 12-inch Mouse Trap. If you aren't dealing with a large mouse infestation, maybe you just have one or two critters that have taken up residence in your home or property and you don't like the idea of killing the rodent, then a humane catch and release trap like this one from IWI could be the solution. Just set bait inside like peanut butter at the back of the trap, so the mouse will have to enter the 12-inch trap to reach the treat fully. Once the mouse is inside the trap, it will step on the trigger, which will securely shut the door behind it, trapping the pest. Thanks to the long design of this trap, the mouse's tail won't be pinched or severed, as can happen with some shorter catch and release traps. You can then take it to a safe outdoor location a considerable distance from your home and release it. No need to touch the rodent, as you can easily unlatch the door to drop the mouse out without contact. While this might not be the ideal solution for everyone, it effectively handles a small rodent problem without using toxins, snaps, shocks, or other potentially harmful components. Keep in mind that you'll need to check the trap regularly to be sure a rodent isn't caught inside for long, and that if you don't release the mouse far away from your residence, it's likely to return. The trap is large enough for small rats and other types of rodents as well, including chipmunks. However, be aware that in some areas, including the state of California, it is illegal to trap wildlife and then relocate it. So before purchasing a humane trap, be sure that it's permitted where you live. Number 7. Rhinatrap's Flip End Slide Bucket Mouse Trap. If you have a rodent problem in your yard, setting enough traps to handle the issue effectively can be difficult. However, this ingenious trap from Rhinatraps can hold up to a couple of dozen mice, as well as rats, chipmunks, or other rodent pests in one go. You'll need to supply your own 5-gallon bucket for this trap, but the setup is simple. Snap the lid onto your bucket, smear a little peanut butter inside the tunnel area, snap the ramp into place, and set the trap where you know rodents like to roam. Once a curious mouse climbs the ramp in search of the fragrant peanut butter and steps out onto the black plank, its weight causes the plank to flip forward, dumping the mouse down into the bucket. The plank then swings back into position to await the next rodent. You can add several inches of water to the bucket so that trapped rodents drown, or you can opt for trap and release if you prefer a humane solution. Be aware, however, that trapping and relocating wildlife is not legal everywhere, so check your local ordinances before opting for that method. Either way, this simple device can deal with a lot of mice, and there is no need for poisons, electricity, snapping bars, or direct contact with the rodents. You'll need to replace the peanut butter bait periodically, but other than occasionally rinsing out the bucket, little maintenance is required.